I should learn Spanglish. We should have a
Wait,
course.
what?
Spanglish. We should learn that from Ricky and Rosanna. Spanish plus English combo. Who needs Spanish? We'll just learn Spanglish. Exactly. Works in Texas, right?
Or just Spanish.
Waiting.
Ah.
Good morning, Ricardo.
Buenos días, amigo.
Did you cut your hair?
It's shorter, yes, a little bit. There's no mullet anymore.
Looks fantastic.
Gracias.
De nada. De nada. I love my Spanish. It's so versatile.
Michael, your microphone is
It's
acting
like
up.
We're gonna have to
Yeah,
free it from the tyranny of Apple headsets.
Okay. Rosanna and Kadir, but I think we should go ahead and get so that's exciting stuff. Let's jump right into it. We've only got one action item from the previous meeting, and that was to investigate a significant drop in the action rate. So I know Tyler did some pretty detailed investigation there, and he had some insights to share. And then I think Kadir has some stuff as well. So hopefully he will be able to join us momentarily. Tyler, do you want to jump into it?
Yeah, basically what we found, the difficult questions on the forums for the last couple of months, there hasn't been anything particularly large standing out. The main thing that was a difficult question that's standing out is website design issues. That's one of the big ones that a lot of contributors are having a hard time answering that one. I think that's just because a lot of people just don't know how to design a website, which is fine. And also, I'm pulling up the email here. Does anyone else have that email that I had sent out with the results?
I got it right here.
Yep.
Do you want me to forward it to you, Tyler?
Yeah, if you can, sorry. Awesome. Okay, so there's also been some issues with various Google properties, so Gmail, YouTube, stuff like that's been an issue. We're not sure if that's related to Firefox 15, and we'll cover that in the Firefox 15 desktop update later in the meeting. And then there's also a really large number of how-to threads that are showing up, how to add a folder for bookmarks, how to clear history, stuff like that. But really there's not any large issues that are showing up on the forums that are particularly difficult. I know Kadir had some stuff that he had looked at today, so that's probably going to be more where the issue lies.
Okay, and do we have Kadir on the call?
Just getting started here. Just
Okay, let me see here. Here then. So it looks like there was a significant increase in the number of so that may have had something to do with it. It looks like our action rate is back around 90% right now, so we're thinking it may have been kind of anomalous, increasing number of questions. Not entirely sure why the increase didn't all get answered as well, but things seem to be back on track. So is that something that we are happy with, the explanation there, or do we think that this is something that needs further investigation? General consensus from everyone? I know Tyler had also mentioned that there was a lot of duplicate threads that had just never gotten closed, so that may have been part of the increase as well. People didn't feel the need to respond to duplicate threads, but for some reason they just weren't closed. Cheng, do you have something to add? Okay. Okay, then I think we will
Sorry.
move on then. Michael.
Well, I was just going to say that, I mean, I think, to me, when I go to answer questions, I mean, I think there still are, you know, compared to, of course, before we started playing around with the IA, there are more, you know, the remaining questions, you know, after we get rid of all the easy to answer, just look at this article questions, they were probably there before, we just never got down that far, are difficult things like web development that you may not have answers for. Maybe this is something with SUMO Dev or our other Mozilla devs that, you know, in our web dev team that we can work with to develop some canned responses for some of these kind of things. I know, like, one thing I often use for people is, like, please go validate your site and look at the errors. You know, it's probably something there. You know, it's one easy one to tell people.
Tyler, do you have something to add to that?
I was just going to say, Michael, yeah, the problem with website issues is we don't really have like a good Mozilla resource to send people to. There's MDN, but that's not particularly friendly or useful for a lot of people. So I think what we should probably do is either find a SUMO dev or web dev who would be willing to help us with that, or find some sort of other forum that is a reputable forum that we could send these people to. You know, we can't really help you, but W3 Schools can, or someone like that.
No.
But
No, not W3 Schools.
I always send people to Stack Exchange or Stack Overflow, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I think once we up like the data clustering as well, we'll be able to see what are these big buckets that are not getting answered, and I'm assuming one of them will definitely be web development. There may be a couple others that we identify, and then we can, you know, pool our resources and try to identify, you know, experts in each of these individual areas that can jump in and either give us information that we can relay to the users or even answer, you know, the questions themselves. So, good stuff. Okay, moving along then. SUMO development update. I see Ricky is here in all of his glory. Ricky, do you want to give us an update?
Yes, so obviously we've been working on the IA and redesign, and there's a few missing pieces that are contributor facing, Army of Awesome, Media Gallery, and Contributor Forum. And then there's the focus and refine thing that we need to still add, which hopefully this week we'll get to that. And other than that, I just wanted to turn it on right here live to everybody. Does that sound like a good idea? I can share my screen.
Yes.
I'd say fishing for compliments.
Wow, we should have a beer or something. This is
I was going to say,
celebration time.
Ricky. So I hear a rumor that you might be celebrating tonight. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I bought a bottle of scotch. I'll go get it. I'll go get it in a second.
Oh my God.
But can you see my my screen or my?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so here I'm gonna say everyone. Yes, we don't need this anymore. Okay, say.
All right,
now
come on.
I go to SUMO. Yes. Yay!
Bravo.
So can I?
I assume that there was some work before you flipped the switch, or is this it? What took it so long? I'm kidding. Great job, guys.
There was a lot of work.
Really,
yes.
really great job.
Yeah. So amazing stuff, Ricky. I hope you know just how much we appreciate all the work you guys have done. This is amazing. It's really exciting too. I know I've said it before, but you know, we're blazing trails here. We're doing things that have never been done in an open source platform, and that's really exciting. I mean, we're on par with, you know, some of these multi-million-dollar commercial offerings. Like, how cool is that? We're doing something special here. So good job, guys.
Yep, really, really good job. We should have sent you that scotch. Maybe for next
Still
project. Still can, yeah, sure. We need to top it though.
All right, UX update. Ricky, do you want to take that, or Kadir maybe?
Yeah, I can take that. Yeah, so first of all, Ricky, thanks again. This has been awesome. I know it's been a very stressful time for all of us, but actually seeing all of it come together is amazing. So yeah, I'm very happy about this. But work continues, and we already have some other amazing stuff coming up, especially this time for our localizers. So the first thing in October that we're going to do is working on L10N tools, improving the localization experience dramatically. And if you want to see what we have on our plates for October and what the state of all of that is, you can click through to the Trello board, and you will see exactly what is already ready, what we are currently working on speccing, and what we are currently working on in design-wise. Yeah, so that's about the L10N work that's currently being done. Then also, we are moving on with the redesign of the mobile side. That is at the same time for Android for mobile, sorry, for Firefox for Android, but it's also at the same time the support app for Firefox OS. So it's doubling as that too. And currently we are looking into which parts we need, and we are already in the phase of designing the major parts of that. You can already see the progress that Bram has made on the major parts, the product picker, results page, article pages, and stuff like that. And currently he's working on the Ask a Question flow. During this week, we will figure out what else we will tackle immediately, and what else we will leave for the end of the quarter. So that's what's currently going on in UX. Any questions?
You guys should look at those mobile mockups. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, has everybody had a chance to look at those yet? Say, if you haven't, that is your action item for the week, is to look at all of the awesomeness that is mobile. All right, thank you, Kadir, for the updates. So looks like we covered the mobile site design, so moving on into the roundtable. So it looks like we have a question here. Can I ask, what are your thoughts on the SUMO IRC meetings that we run monthly, and how can we get more people involved? Do we know who added this? I don't actually see a name next to the item.
It's probably Sadaf who did it,
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's set up.
because he's usually running them. Yeah, so I think like monthly IRC meetings are very good. We should have that if we can on a regular basis. My only comment is that we need to be a bit more consistent about how we're doing them, and also like talk to everybody and see what would be like the best time for many people to attend, because sometimes it happens like the times are always different. And it's hard for people to attend, and also we need to communicate in advance when they're going to happen, because again it happens that people just find out like a day or two before, and then of course they cannot attend. So we should have them, but let's try to make them, I don't know, a bit more formalized with an agenda and everything. So and I think in this way more people will get involved and they will attend. I don't know if anybody has any other comments on this. That was my...
Okay, great. Moving on, we have one more. Madeline, it looks like you may have already answered this as well.
Yeah, I responded to that one. So it was again Satav asking about what's happening to the Facebook page. So my comment is, let's catch up this week, Satav, because I was away. I mean, the last two weeks I was away with Moscap and everything, so we didn't have time to chat. So if we can catch up this week, it'd be great, and we can see, well, how is it going.
That'd be great. And then can you give us a update on
Sure.
what you guys discuss in the next meeting? Would be great.
Yeah.
I'll post.
You can put that on an action item for me.
Okay. Is somebody capturing action items, or do you want? I can do that.
I can take care of that.
Okay. All right, moving on. So Firefox desktop update. So the big things going on right now is we are still investigating this speed issue. So we've got some telemetry data that suggests that page load times seem to be on par with previous releases. So some of the reports for slow page loading could be, just add-on related, or other things that cause issues intermittently. We are still seeing a pretty significant trend of people reporting just general slowness for bandwidth, like internet, which is very strange, and we're getting some very, very strange suggestions of what may be causing the issue. So we even had a couple of people suggesting that Flash may be slowing down their internet connections. So we are still investigating this, and we're still trying to find a common thread, something that we can pinpoint and say this seems to be what is causing the issue, be it a firewall, add-on, even Flash. So anyone who can help in this effort, we would definitely appreciate that. But we are still chasing this one down, so hopefully we'll have some extra information this week. We've also got some issues with a few of the Google properties. Tyler, did you want to give the update on that? You were on.
You're muted or something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, can hear you now.
Okay. There's two properties we're having issues with. One is Gmail, and that seems to be an issue with Gmail just not loading. A couple of people have said Firefox Reset fixes that, so we're not sure if it's a pref or an add-on. Still doing an investigation with that. Then there's also an issue with YouTube where various buttons aren't loading on videos, and we're not quite sure what's happening there. So if anyone knows what could be causing that, has any other insights, let us know.
Good stuff.
Oops.
So, Chang, you've got an update for us. Next slide.
Really quick, I just added a quick update, which is to say that we are now, or we will be, as soon as I'm out of this meeting and my other litany of meetings this morning, be serving a survey to all of our Aurora users via test pilot. So they'll get a little pop-up that says, please have this survey. It essentially is the input form styled a whole bunch of different ways. And to see if we can get people to actually tell us how they like Aurora, so we don't have to wait until beta or even release to hear about problems.
And Chang, for the uninitiated, can you please tell us just some of the amazing and fantastic benefits that this survey will give to us?
I feel like that's a leading question.
But it's true though.
It's true. So what we're trying to do is really understand our users prior to even beta, right? So right now we have 200,000 Aurora users, and for all intents and purposes, they seem to be on nightly because they don't give that much feedback, and so we don't really fix any problems in our product until we get to the beta stage because we don't hear about the problems. What we're trying to do is get more feedback from those Aurora users, and the way we're going about doing that is using Test Pilot to essentially prompt those users. Every Aurora user has Test Pilot turned on, so they'll be all prompted to fill out a very, very short, open text box survey that says, tell us what you're feeling, tell us about, and we targeted 2 specific issues, tell us about websites, or tell us about performance. And hopefully they'll fill out that box, and even if we get 10% return rate on these surveys, that is significantly more feedback than we've ever gotten on Aurora or even possibly beta before, and that will allow us to make fixes really early, and so we don't have to scramble at the end of the beta cycle to get information.
That's great. Yeah, Aurora has always been just a black hole for data collection, and we're going to get insights that we've never had before. That is really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, and I can tell you that Alex Keeble, Jonathan are also really excited about this thing. It's a good example of how we can use the tools that we have today and in a pragmatic way to get better feedback earlier on. Really, what they want to do is that they want to move as much of the feedback and their ability to react on the problems to pre-release, as opposed to have very, very expensive chem spills, because it's not just expensive in terms of the wasted cycles from the engineering team that you need to put in and the release management team to get those things out the door. It's also really taxing on our user base. We're literally losing thousands of people every chem spill. So whatever we can do to mitigate those things by fixing things earlier on in the product cycle is better. So I think I see that as one of the big things that will come out of the, or is already coming out of the user advocacy team is making sure that we allow for the the rest of the org to ship better products. So anyway,
Right.
should remember.
So metrics. Take a quick look at the KPI dashboard.
All right.
Does look like our answer rate is back up in kind of the normal range. Any other metrics on here that you jump out at them? Kadir, do you have something?
Yeah, Matt, I came in a bit late, so I assume you already talked about the dip that we had before, and the data that we looked for that, that we looked at for that. So I'm going to skip that. So one thing you can see is that our helpful votes in the forum are still jumping around, and hopefully once we have this rate limiting in place sometime soon, we will have that in check. Other than that, oh, I'm breaking up. Maybe I can hold this somehow differently. Yeah, so other than that, there's the CTR rate that up to now we were not able to actually fill up. So I have access to that now, and I will hopefully be able to actually plug it in this week, so we will have data on our CTR rate. And of course, we won't only have CTR rate going forward, we also have CTR rate for previous times. So we will be able to fill that up and actually look at the previous times. So nothing lost there. I think that's the major thing. One other thing that's a bit concerning, but I'm not sure if it's a long-term trend or not, is Army of Awesome contributors and localizers. Usually they should pick up after the summer. When September starts, our contributor rates should pick up. They did in the forums, but and KB contributors, but not for those other two. So it might be something that is maybe around something. I don't know exactly why that is. So basically, it could be concerning. Doesn't have to be, but it might be worth looking deeper into those two things. Yeah, and also one update about the LTNN coverage. We are, as you can see on the LTNN tools update, that was the UX one before. We are looking into updating the LTNN coverage chart to reflect better how localization actually works and how much of our users we are actually covering with our current localizations. So if you want to be part of that, we are going to have a proposal for that and share it with the team so that you can also comment on that and tell us your opinion. That's all I have. Hopefully that was, you were able to hear that.
Okay, great. Any questions for Kadir? All right, moving on, community. I'm really excited to hear about Mozcamp. So.
Yes, so Mozcamp was absolutely great. There were a few of us there. It was Rosanna, it was I, it was Michelle, there was Ibai, and there was David as well. So we met a lot of people and got a lot of feedback. Oh, and that was Roland as well. Sorry, Roland. So as I was saying, we met a lot of people and we got a lot of feedback, and it was absolutely amazing. We'll have Rosanna and I we're working on a bigger report to share with everybody about everything what that happened. But just generally a few takeaways. We have a few people like Ziggy Mace and Fuzzy Fox who want to do Firefox clinics in Belgium, respectively, in London, which I think is absolutely great, and a lot of people are really interested in doing this and continue what we have started. So it would be great if we, the SUMO team, can help that as much as we can, because I think it's a very, very big thing. We met with the localizers, I hope with everybody who was there and was a localizer. And Rosanna can talk a bit more about that.
Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to say that it was amazing. It's great to finally get to see the people who have been helping us for a long time and to put a face to the name. Um, I just wanted to say that yeah, the energy was amazing. As Madalena said, we think that we got reps excited about SUMO. So I think as one of the outcomes from this Moss camp is we have many reps who are interested in SUMO. So we're going to try to leverage that. We're going to try to build on that and have reps make Firefox clinics around the world. So I'll share with you more on that in the future as a plan that we have. On the other side, we're going to try to help each locale to match up with a rep so that you can have some more help on the ground to help you grow your community. That's also something that came out of the Moss camp. On the other side, we actually wanted to have like a big session regarding the Elton tools. We didn't have the time, but we met with a lot of localizers at a coffee break. They were all standing there. Roland was very kind to take some notes. It was a little bit disorganized, but basically what came out of it is we went through the changes that we're going to do to the Elton tools in Q4, and we got very positive feedback. We think that these changes are really needed, and people, the localizers we talked to, basically they all said, this is amazing. This is exactly what we need. We have a couple of things more that they would like to get, that we work on them, but basically, very it's good to know that we're in a good direction and that they think that the prioritization that we have done is good. So I just wanted to say that was also very positive, and yeah, it was great talking to all of them. I think that we'll, other than a report, we're also gonna do some blog posting about what happened. So if you have any questions.
David.
So I just wanted to add two things. First of all, thanks, Michelle, for writing that extensive report that you already sent out to the team. I think that was really probably very helpful for the people who didn't attend to just get a feel of the amazing stuff that happened there and just the positive energy. So it was really, it's like reading my diary when I read it. It's reliving it all. So that was helpful. The other thing that I just wanted to point out as a personal thing that I thought was really cool is to finally meet John 99. And he's such a great guy. We had some really interesting discussions about. So we talked about the knowledge base, and he's totally on board with what we've discussed as a team on how we should simply allow more people to take ownership of articles in the knowledge base, and just allow people to kind of take articles and run with it rather than having to conform to specific quality bars before we publish those articles, and also this idea that he had about making sure that anyone should be able to write a stub articles, and then someone else can pick it up and kind of improve it as you go. So there are different type of people for different tasks. So it might be that one person is really good at just doing the basic stuff. You don't even have to about the wiki markup, because it's time to learn those things. But that shouldn't stop people from just digging in and helping out, because at the end of the day, it's still helpful. Even though it's kind of on half, unfinished article, it's still better than not having an article. So I think it sounded to me like we were very much on the same page with what we've been talking about, both in our team meetings, but also in the community discussion forum discussion that we've had. So those were the two things. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, KCS best practice. Capture information even if it's not perfect. I love it. Sounds like he went to KCS Academy as well. It's great.
Yeah, I didn't mention that, but yeah, he basically had that mindset for sure.
That's great. Yeah. Michael, do you want to give us a knowledge base update?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, speaking of writing articles, there were articles that we talked about adding to the knowledge base. So I'll be working on trying to get those things done. Also looking at Windows 8. Our first initially is Firefox on the regular Firefox on Windows 8. There's not a whole lot of difference, just how you get to Firefox. And then later on will be the Metro thing. And that'll take extensive documentation. But I'm trying to look at what do we need for the basic, just Firefox in the kind of classic Windows environment of Windows 8.
Okay, great. If you need any help, as always, feel free to reach out.
Yep.
Always happy to jump in. Kadir, did you have something? Thought you had your hand up. Okay. Moving on, mobile.
Yeah, just what's in the wiki, unless Tyler wants to add anything about the review data that he's been working hard to collect. We're just scoping for version 16 and figuring out what docs we need. So anyone who can help out would be great to have your help. And there, I did find instructions and got some instructions updated for the emulator for Firefox for Android. There is actually one that runs in the Android emulator. It's kind of complicated though. So I'm also asking around about the possibility to get people devices if they want to help with Firefox for Android. So if you're one of those people, send me a private message and I'll try to get you a device so that you can help us out. Don't know how likely it is, but I'm going to try. So, Tyler, do you have anything?
Nothing major. The big thing is feedback solicitation in beta, which means we're going to be getting a lot more input feedback. Chang and I and Matt did work on better ways that we can organize the input feedback, so we should be getting some more actionable stuff from that. Nothing major on Firefox for Android this week.
Thanks.
Right. Next, we got the support forum. It looks like maybe Madalena, you want to take this one?
Yeah. So as you guys know, we had SUMO Day last Thursday, and we had 97% of the questions responded. So yay, we're back on track. So I just want to thank everybody who participated, all the contributors who answered a lot of questions. You guys are great, and thank you so much for doing this.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Thank you for leading it.
You can
No
never
problem.
say it enough. You guys are amazing, so thank you so much. Roland, do you have a Thunderbird update for us?
We had a nice Thunderbird summit just before MozCamp in Warsaw, and I met everybody except the support forum contributors. Two of them couldn't make it because one came from Australia and one was coming from France and had a child. So we're going to have another meeting with them because they're the major people who've been giving us input on Thunderbird. And I agree, it would be great if we could lower the bar for knowledge base, even if it's just making articles, stub articles that are visible just to contributors, so that the great army of contributors can quickly turn it from a stub into a real article, or even make the stub article live. Have a stub status or something, make it obvious that this is the, I don't know. I know we have lots of ideas around that. We should just execute because those ideas are good. That's it.
All right. Firefox OS.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, just what's in the wiki. We have 2 weeks to try to make our alpha content goal for those 14 apps. So that's what Roland and I will be doing for the next 2 weeks, and anyone else who got the emulator set up from our workshop at MozCamp, however you want to help, would be great. We're just doing not really screenshots, just stepwise procedures to get everything sketched out over the next weeks. So anything, I mean, Roland is doing camera and email, but you know, if you want with that, I think we just got Gmail in the email for Firefox.
Oh, we added Gmail? Okay.
They're just adding Gmail this week. So, I mean, it's a lot of change, but a lot of cool stuff coming in. So that's
So very quickly, I would love to help out. I have a ton of things this week, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to do it. But do you have a sense of, do you have kind of a template or whatever for what type of things you would like to have documented for each app? And if so, I would love to sign up for one of them tentatively and take a look at it as a way for me to kind of dive into that area. And I would encourage anyone else on the team to do the same.
Yeah, Michelle, are you guys tracking anywhere what you've currently already documented or what you're currently working on so that people can see where the gaps are?
Yeah, I really just have an outline of everything so far, which I think I've made available. But I will add the links to this meeting. I think we've discussed it mainly in the KB meeting. So, but everything really is fair game, right? They just locked down icons last week. So we're just really just getting started. We know what we want to do, and we just need stepwise procedures for everything. So, you could start anywhere and you'd probably be safe that you're not duplicating effort if you started today. So, but I'll put the list and try to make it really clear
Right.
on what we need.
So Michelle, we'll get that list in there and we'll know what still needs to be documented, and everybody should be looking at that. Even if you don't have the cycles to document, we should all be familiarizing ourselves with it, because this is really, really cool stuff, and it's coming very, very soon. So,
Yeah, I mean, David, just pick an app. What app do you like? It's yours.
I would love the camera app. That would be my favorite. I'm a camera geek.
Oh, except for camera and email. Pick something else. Try again. That is in the notes.
Yeah, send me the list. Yeah, sorry. Send me the list of apps and any instructions that you have to include that here, and also send it to the team, and I'll pick one of them. No worries. I love all apps.
Okay.
All right. So action item: David and Roland have to fight for the camera app.
No. It's all yours, Roland. I'm not gonna fight.
So I think that's everything. So do we have any audibles? Is there anything else that we need to discuss? All right. I think that's it then. So everybody have a great week. As always, anything comes up, just holler. Michael, do you have something? Or?
No, sorry. I was
all right.
Waving goodbye.
All right, guys. I will see you all online.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you online.
Bye.
Chang?
Great week.